Hi, beautiful people. My name is Chef Aine. I want to use this opportunity to welcome you to my course. In this course, I'll be teaching you my amazing coconut cake. Guys, this cake is the game changer. It is soft, it is full of flavor, and you can tweak it however you like in terms of the quantity. If you want to make more, you can always multiply your ingredients by the number of times you want to increase your recipe. So, guys, make sure you follow these recipes to the letter. Okay, follow them just as I have shown you here, and I promise you will be getting the same amazing results that we sell in our bakery. Happy caking. So the list of ingredients we're going to need for this recipe: we have our sifted flour. Inside our sifted flour, I have added the baking powder and salt. Then we have coconut milk already measured. We have sugar already measured. We have oil already measured. Desiccated coconut. Our vanilla flavor, coconut flavor. 2 eggs already broken. A mixing bowl and our hand mixer. So at this point, we're going to get started. So the first thing we're going to do is to pour our sugar and eggs into our mixer bowl and mix on medium-high speed. Guys, you want to mix this until it is really creamy and fluffy. It usually would take anything between 5 to 6 minutes to achieve the result that is required. So guys, at this point, I'm going to add the oil, as you can see me do in the video. Feel free to use coconut oil if you so desire for a very intense coconut flavor. But for this particular video, I actually used regular vegetable oil. So now I'm just trying to scrape the oil into the bowl because it was already weighed, and you really don't want to leave any single drop of oil left in the cup. So after turning all of that into the bowl, I'm just going to continue mixing it until I achieve that really nice fluffy texture that I'm going for. As you can see, it's really fluffy. It's looking really smooth. I love how this looks. You wouldn't even believe that there is no drop of butter in this mix. It's lovely. So after mixing for a while, you can see the result that you expected to get. Next thing I'm going to do at this point is to go in with my flavors. I'm going to go in with, I think, 3 squints of vanilla flavor. But of course, you can use a teaspoon to measure, and 1 teaspoon is perfectly fine. The list of ingredients is in the description, so you can easily just follow through as I go. Next thing, I'm going to add in my coconut flavor. Guys, this is not coconut essence. This is coconut flavor. I actually use the Mikang brand, or any really good industrial flavor that you find. I only put it in that container because I needed to separate it from the main pack. But please don't use vanilla essence or any adulterated type of flavoring. The better the quality of your flavor, the better the quality of your cake. So after that, I'm just going to continue mixing, as you can see me do, just to incorporate the flavoring properly into the egg and sugar mix. Please do not forget to scrape down the side of your bowls, because while you're mixing, it's very common that maybe granules of sugar or lumps of your ingredients might just stick around your bowl. You want to use your spatula. Silicone spatula works better, to scrape down the sides of your bowl. Scrape down the sides of your bowl so that you can have a very evenly distributed mix. So at this point, I'm just going to continue mixing until all the ingredients I have scraped down from the side of the bowl mixes in really well. So at this point, guys, it's very crucial that you drop your hand mixer, or if you're using a stand mixer, it's very important that you turn it off. And the reason is because when mixing your egg and sugar mixture, you want to use as much speed as you can, because we're trying to incorporate so much air into the batter. But the moment that is done and you're starting to add your flour, please guys, switch to a silicone spatula. And the reason is because you don't want to over mix your flour. Now we're going to be adding our flour in 2 additions and our milk in 1. We're going to start with our flour and end with our flour. So as you can see, I have already added 1 part of my flour mix into the batter, and I'm gently folding in the mixture to make sure that it is nicely incorporated without over mixing my batter. Okay guys, you see, after you have mixed in, or will I say beaten, so much air into your batter during the process of creaming your eggs and your sugar, you don't want to deflate it by over mixing it when you've added your flour. So it's very important that the moment you're done creaming your eggs and your sugar, you switch to a spatula and only gently fold in your flour. Okay, so after I have folded in the first part of my flour, I'm now adding the entire batch of milk which I have here. Okay, so I'm just trying to make sure I scrape the bowl clean to make sure everything goes right into the mix. After this, I'm just going to continue to fold in the milk until it is nicely incorporated. Just gently fold in, guys. You don't want to rigorously fold in the milk. You want to be gentle with it. Just treat it like your baby, okay? Just take it slow, take it easy. You don't want to over mix it so you don't end up with a tough cake. Now after I have mixed in that, I'm just going to mix in the last batch of dry ingredients, which you can see me do right now. Okay, that's all guys. And now you just want to continue, just repeat the process. Gently fold in the dry ingredients until it is nicely incorporated. So guys, the last and final step for this recipe would be to pour in our desiccated coconut. Make sure you get the best quality desiccated coconut that you can find in the market, guys. It's very key to note that the better the quality of your ingredients, the better the quality of your cake. Okay, you cannot go ahead using cheap ingredients and expect to have a very good tasting cake. Make sure you invest in getting great ingredients, great quality ingredients. So at this point, I'm just going to mix it in gently to make sure that all the sides of the bowl is scraped into the batter and I'm not missing anything at all. So at this point, I simply want to line my pans with parchment paper. Guys, I have a video on my channel on how you can easily line your pans with parchment paper, so do well to check it out. It will be very helpful here. It's worthy to note that these recipes do not contain any preservative, so please refrigerate your cakes, and if you're going to have to keep it for longer, freeze your cakes. These cakes can last as long as 5 days in the fridge and 2 weeks in the freezer. Okay, so please inform your clients as well. These cakes do not contain preservatives. They are freshly made homemade cakes. Okay, so they must be refrigerated or they will go bad. So guys, I would really advise that whenever you want to bake your cakes, make sure you weigh the quantity of batter that goes into your pan. And this is because you want to be consistent with your cake sizes. Okay, you don't want to sell a 6 inches cake today and it's more than the one you sold yesterday. So what I do is, for a 6 inches pan, 500 grams of batter works. If you want it to be a little higher, 650 grams works, even up to 700. Just make sure that whatever you decide to use, you stay consistent with it. But for this particular recipe, I was able to achieve, I think one pan was 550 grams and the other one was about 250 or thereabout. So you could actually split it into two equal like pans, and that would work for you. So the moment you're done pouring your batter into your pans, you want to bake on 180 degrees, or you want to bake in 180 degrees centigrade. I feel like gas ovens are hotter than electric ovens. So whatever you use, make sure you understand the temperature of your oven and work with it accordingly. Okay? But the key thing you need to note is bake on low heat. Low heat gives you the best result from your baked goods. Using low heat to bake cakes gives you a flat top first off, and then it ends up giving you a very tender, moist and fluffy crumb on your cake at the end of the day. And so you end up with a clean cake on the outside and on the inside, and you don't have like brown crusty looking cakes that are so ugly, not good enough for the gram. So make sure you bake on low heat and bake until a skewer stuck in the middle of your cake comes out clean. I'm going to show you what it looks like, guys, after it has baked. This is the best cake ever. You have to try this and send in your feedback, send in your work, send in your cakes. I'd love to see it. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me, and I'll be more than willing to answer all your questions. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in and taking this class. I hope that this was worth your time, and I will see you in my next class. Bye.